Well, I hope you can see this. I got this jack over here. I'm putting a red dot on it. There's actually a plate underneath there, and what I did was I sandwiched the plate with the jack, and the jack is up against the top here with a piece of wood. And you know, I ground down the metal. First I put chassis saver, and then I ground down the metal where I was going to put like the epoxy gel, which is for steel or fiberglass. And what I used is the jack to like crush it down, so I'll let it dry overnight, and then I'll put the rivets in it after that. That's what I've been doing with all these plates down here. I used the jack to push them down, and that makes you like the epoxy resin gel. It's not Tiger Hairs or Duraglass, fiberglass reinforced plastic. It's just plain epoxy. It's just plain resin gel, not the runny stuff, but the thick stuff. But it's the gel. And so when I crush down the plate, it really adheres good. Then I put the rivets in. And what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to put a coat of resin all around there. I'll probably go over it with the Dremel tool just to roughen it up a little bit. Put a coat of resin over that and let it dry. And then I'll put the chassis saver right over the freaking resin again, just so it looks all silver. But I think that's going to make this a lot more rust proof than if I just welded in some metal, because you know, when you weld in metal, you always freaking start fires, and it's like you gotta, if you overlap it, you really gotta weld both sides of it, because, and to get down on the bottom and try to weld both sides of it, in other words, you have a lip, and it's like here, one part goes over the other part, and I'll explain that exactly. Like, say for instance, you got this piece right here, and you got that piece right there, right? So if you weld along the top, you got to get the seam along the bottom here, and then also with welds, you got to go over them with some kind of sealer, because most of the time you're not going to get that weld like where it's not 100% waterproof. There might be a little pinhole or something, especially if you're dealing with, you know, impurities in the metal and stuff, and garbage, you know, that's been laying around here, rust and stuff, unless you really get it super clean. And if you do a butt weld like this, you know, you want to do something that's overlapping, and you want to put seam sealer on it. And really the right way to do this is to remove the entire floor and replace it, and you know, do it that way. But I ain't doing that shit. That's crazy. It'd take a lot of labor. But I've just been going along, doing one slice at a time here. And it's going along pretty good. But I only got a couple more little pieces to do. So it's mainly done. And I think, you know, actually I want to do those other two pieces tomorrow, and I put the rivets in over here. The next step will just be to cut a coat of epoxy resin and put some chassis saver over that. And then I don't think it'll rust for 50 years, because it'll be way better than the original. But that's the kind of stuff you could do. And actually, if you had this, say, on a floor over here, you could take like a 4x4 and make a T on the top, and, you know, not jack it up to the roof too hard, but just a little bit, so it'll apply a lot more pressure than if you even put a weighted object on there. So you can even do that with the floor down here. I don't have any rust down here. I'm okay there. But yeah, this is actually coming out where it's the wrong way. Like a body shop would say, ooh, what the hell is this shit? But it's coming out where the rust is all freaking gone, and it's going to be sealed up so well that it's never going to come back. So you could say it's wrong, but it's going to work very well, and it's cheap. Just that's taken me some time, because I've been doing this in dribs and drabs when I have time to do it. But man, I'm pretty happy with it, because man, this rust must have been here from, I'd say, the late 70s, early 80s, from Pennsylvania and northwest New Jersey, because the car has been in California and Florida since 1991. and so it hasn't been getting rust, you know, under a carport, and it hasn't getting in Southern California. It wasn't getting rusty there either. So this actually, all this rust that you see on this thing, it's really from Pennsylvania and Northwest New Jersey. This car was bought in Pennsylvania as a construction vehicle originally, and you know how it is up there, man. If this car was up there this whole time, there would have been nothing left of it. I mean, nothing. So, but the way I'm doing it now, I think it would survive winters even up in the Rust Belt, up in Northeast, and because this chassis saver is some pretty damn good stuff, especially, you know, where a lot of people make mistakes is they get the damn metal too clean. You want to really leave some of that rust on there because it's like it grips the chassis saver. It won't peel. If you get it too clean, even if you sandblast it, it's usually not rough enough. That rust, unless it's not flaky rust, I put it on there pretty heavy, and it's on there because I notice when I try to grind it off to put the epoxy gel on there, it takes some grinding even to get it off. You're not even going to sandblast that shit off. It's on there freaking way better than paint. So, you know, pretty damn happy with it. And it's been like a bunch of bullshit I've been doing the last couple of years on this thing, just knocking out some rust here and there, and I think I got just about 100% of it, even though this car doesn't look like it's really nice shape. I don't think the body's going to be pretty impervious to rust, and the rust will be all gone.